You're listening to Business Over Wine.
Hi guys. How's it going? It's episode 2.
Welcome back.
We are very excited. Tonight we'll be talking about staying organized. I think it's a nice sequence of, switching to
From full-time,
or if you want to stay part-time, and now you have to stay organized.
Right.
That transition will require a little bit of adjustment.
It will. So let's start with the wine we're drinking. Another local wine. This one's called Summer Peach Groves Selection. And it has a very, very strong peach smell to it. So I am excited to try this one.
It's delicious.
Is it good?
It's sweet. It's end of summer.
Semi-sweet wine with natural peach flavor.
It's not semi-sweet. It's a sweet wine. It's really sweet wine.
Oh, and if you didn't notice, that is a cork at the bottom.
Yeah, all the bottles are really business over wine proof.
I think it's me and you, but I think we have this theme going where we just something's against us in wine bottles, because every wine bottle we open ends up at the bottom of the wine bottle.
Maybe that should be our a signature move of pushing a cork into the bottle.
We're gonna get so good at it. But then we have cork in our wine. Although I was pretty good at filtering it out this time.
Well, it's extra fiber. Staying healthy.
I guess so. So it smells really good.
It does. It smells delicious. It's sweet.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You weren't kidding.
It's very sweet. For me, anyway.
Yeah, that's very, very sweet.
But we are excited to drink it, and let's talk.
Let's talk staying organized.
It's a very difficult subject because everyone is different.
Absolutely.
And everyone does it different.
Well, and if you have, you're starting to learn the dynamic between Paulina and I, but for us, our rituals and routines are about the same, actually. I mean, you're a little bit more religious and strict with yours.
Yeah.
Where I have to be a little bit more loosey-goosey because, kids are kids and you can't keep them on a schedule.
I keep telling you, get them in the closet.
Hang them on a hook.
She doesn't listen. I keep telling little hooks with the harnesses. You can actually get, for the dogs, you can get a harness you put on it and you can clip them to seat belts.
Ah.
So you can do it for your children.
I wonder if they make them for people.
I think that your children are so small they will fit in a dog harness.
You crack me up.
That's the first step of staying organized. Get your children in a dog harness and clip them in the closet.
I don't know about that. Mine are too clever. They get out of it.
Unclip themselves.
Yeah, they'll get out of it pretty quick.
You would wake up from the nap in the dog harness. It's tied in.
Yeah. I'd be tied in it. They'd be like, "Nice try there, lady."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, how you stay organized? For children, full-time business, taking care of the house, husband, and you have 2 businesses. So
I do.
How you?
Every morning, we have a blackboard in our house, and then right next to the blackboard there's a calendar. So every week, I start at the beginning of the month, and then I recheck it every week to make sure that everything's added. But on the calendar is all the big things, like Esri's dance. She's in hip hop this year, so all of her dance, any other extracurricular activities that my kids are in, all go on the calendar.
Okay.
Any big things like half day on Friday, which I just found out about today. Or yesterday, because I told you about it yesterday. So
at least you didn't forget them at school.
Oh my gosh, all the moms would have been calling me like, "Hey,
your children are on the curb.
You're not here." Although we live close enough, they could walk. But I have a calendar for everything, and then on the whiteboard goes our daily tasks. Okay. And so even though my children are under 6, they all have chores. And so they have their little chore chart that they have to do. And, and it's simple things like make your bed, empty the trash, pick up your laundry, wipe down the toilet seat.
Well, it's a great thing because they will learn now. And
they'll
be okay with it when they're adults. They won't be freaking out as a 45-year-old living still with you.
Well, you want me to clean my room?
Yeah, so I think it's a great way to. It's an amazing thing to teach your children. It starts small. You don't have to have them work in a field.
No, although I do. we do go pick every year for.
I'm sure that they have more fun than you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's so much fun. But so we do that, and then so I do what I call kind of a brain dump at the beginning of the day.
Okay.
And so I literally take everything from my brain and write it down on our blackboard. Everything from vacuum and laundry to client meetings and posting for Unique. Everything that I have to do for the day, I put out on this whiteboard, on this blackboard. And I usually do it while the kids are having breakfast. So they're right there, and I can remember things and be like, oh yeah, don't forget, you have to put this in your backpack, or it's your day to share. So it helps me kind of take all of what's in here and just write it down. I take about 5-10 minutes to do it because I'm really good at it now. So once I start, it just triggers my mind to just start this little list in my head, and I start writing it out. And then from there I prioritize. So I get the kids off to school, and then that's when my day starts. Right after I come home, I give my son second breakfast, because yes, he does have second breakfast.
I do have a second breakfast too. Right? Like,
but hey, it was new to me. I don't have breakfast at all, and this kid will eat like twice. Oh my gosh, blows my mind. But
he's growing.
He's a boy.
Yeah,
he's never.
Come on, give
he's
him
never
a break.
Gonna stop.
If you just think when he'll be 14,
I'm gonna go broke.
Like you will have like to like your story is that you decided to go into business when you had 2 children and you still wanted more. How your schedule changed when you had more children? Did it really?
Honestly, as long as I stick to my routine. So rituals and routine is very important for kids, especially when they're little. And I think every mom knows this. I mean, there's so many moms out there that ask me, well, how did you do this and how did you do that? And I'm like, oh, there's not a how in our house. It's a do,
Yeah.
So every day my daughter goes down for a nap. Every day my son goes down for a nap. When my kids are home, all 4, they all have quiet time between 1 and 3. I don't care if you sleep, but you have to be quiet. You either have to lay down and read a book, or you have to just sleep, take a nap. And that is my time to work, make conference calls, do anything I need to do. And I can count on that. My kids know 1 to 3 means quiet time, no questions, no questions asked. So it didn't change so much. When you have a newborn, you're a little bit at their mercy because, they're not, they just got here. You can't expect them to, obey your rules. Seriously.
I'll go take a nap.
I'll do it when I feel like it. But, as long as you start the sleep training immediately, I would keep her up a little bit longer and make her get closer to those times that I wanted to. And then she got used to it, and now she does. So from 9 to about 11:30, she takes a nap. She wakes up, she has lunch, and then by 1:30, she's back down for a quick nap. Yeah. And so even though my timetable has changed a little bit, I'm still able to get those pockets of time like I need. And so it's not so much like from 1 to 3, I'm going to do this. Yeah. It's more when I get the 2 hours of quiet time, I know I can do this. Okay. I know I can call these people. So I don't, my job allows me to be a little flexible. I tell people, I'll call you sometime today. Are you going to be available? Versus being like, I'll call you at 1:30, because for me that doesn't work. I can't guarantee that. Yeah. But as long as people know, okay, I'll be available. I know you're going to call me today. Yeah.
So what would be
gives me a chance?
What would be the best advice for a mom's? Well, let's say the newborn mom, with the first child, and you had a business before, and now you have a first newborn. You don't, because you were already experienced mom,
right? So definitely prepare your clients. I mean, obviously, you're going to have this child, and everybody's going to be very compassionate to you towards the fact that you have a child. And if you are a newborn mom, that's way, way different. And we see it, and us veteran moms of 4 are like, oh, you guys are so cute with your one child. But it is the struggle is real. You've never done this before in your life. You have no idea what to expect. And I guarantee you, this little tiny human is not going to abide by your rules. So it's really important to give yourself that maternity leave and give yourself that sabbatical, because I know most working business moms are like, I'm going to pop this kid out and we're going to go right back to it. Allow yourself to enjoy that time as a mother, because you're never going to get it back. And if you're, and it's only going to overwhelm you more if you're trying to run your business and learn how to be a mom at the same time. Yeah. Those are the 2 things that I would say for sure.
Just take it easy.
Take it easy, tell your clients, prepare yourself ahead of time. This little child's coming. You got 9 months to prepare, hopefully. Not all of us did, but
surprise!
Yeah, you're coming early. But you've got some months to prepare. So prepare yourself. Tell your clients, okay, from now till this date, we're gonna work hard to get this done. And then the work stops. I'm not taking any new clients. I'm not bringing anything new in from this point to this period. Or, or hire help if you can afford to do that. Yeah. And say, I'm, going to train somebody to come in for these few months and help me out while I do this.
Yeah.
And take advantage of anybody that tells you, let me help you with something.
Yeah.
Because when you're a newborn mom, the biggest thing is that people are always like, let me help you. What can I help you with? Make you dinner, send them to the grocery store for you, take advantage of the fact that your friends are there to help you.
Yeah.
Because I think most of us want to be like, oh, I got this. I totally got this. And it's like, yeah, maybe you do, and that's great, but, take advantage. If your friends are going to help you, tell them to help you. If it happens, it totally happens. And there have been times where clients have called me and my kids are screaming in the background, and I literally have to go lock myself in a closet or the garage. And I'm like, sorry.
I had to walk into my office.
Please give me a moment. Yeah, I've literally had to put people on mute because they've called and I'm sitting on the bathroom toilet or somebody's, making all kinds of noise.
Yeah.
And been like, can you hold please? But, you're a mom.
Yeah.
Just do it tactfully. Just be like, can you hold please? Click, and then go flush the toilet for your kid and walk out and go into the other room, and they don't know where you are. They have no idea what you're doing.
So did going into like a smartphone mode helped?
Absolutely, because you can see things. Everything is digital now. I even have a chat with me button on my website now.
Oh,
so
fancy.
You can see who's calling you most of the time. Now, I get a lot of no-name callers or no-caller IDs. Mm-hmm. So generally what I'll do is I'll just
let them ring.
Yeah, and let the voicemail pick up. And if it's somebody local, they'll leave a message.
Yeah. So. I pick up.
You do?
I do. I do the, hey, this is Paulina. And if it's quiet, usually, I know it's...
it's usually Google Ads that calls me.
Well, I wait for it because I get... When you will go in business and you put your phone number publicly, in like 6 months into it, you will start getting calls.
Oh my God.
Google's, I have my domain with GoDaddy, so I get GoDaddy, and banks to sell you credit cards.
Oh, and to fund your business, you qualify for $300,000.
Yes. And then the last thing is the credit card processing companies. So I actually start picking up the phone and getting my phone number off the list. There's like press 7 for.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So I slowly getting my. You will never win the battle.
Then why do it?
Well, because you can get your phone number if you have a Gmail account. You can actually get the Google Voice, and Google Voice allows me to block numbers.
Oh, okay.
I love Google Voice because Google Voice you can customize your voicemails to different phone numbers. You can literally have for every contact you have in your phone book, different voicemail.
How smart.
So I have like, for a while I had for my friends, I had something funny.
Oh, cute.
And for my clients, I had
Something professional.
So I
Hi,
highlight.
this is Paulina Gwaltney.
Oh.
Hey, bitches. I could just see you.
No, I had that one was it. Yeah, it wasn't. My friend's voicemail wasn't nice. Like, he wasn't very. I hate when people are like, "There's so many ways," and they're like, "Why are you calling me? Just text me.
Why are you calling me?
Just text me." I'm like,
and we do Marco, you and I.
Yeah,
and
so it's, I don't know. For me, after smartphones, the calls became a hassle.
Yeah, they truly are. And my husband is the opposite. He's stuck in time, and so he's always like, I think it was, I don't know if I was Marcoing you or if I was Marcoing the Chamisa Moms group that I'm part of, the school group that I'm a part of, but I'm Marco Poloing, so Marco Polo, and like, it's a video chat thing, and I'm videoing the girls, and he walks behind me and he's like, just call them. And I'm like, no, I'm talking to like 20 ladies right now.
Yeah, you cannot do like conference call, and I don't.
No, and they can look at this whenever they feel like it.
But for clients, you need to pick up the phone. You really need to pick up the phone. There's
Absolutely.
a lot of people who...
And it's hard to tell with these. I mean, if it's like Wisconsin or, Milwaukee or something like that, I usually don't answer it. But if it's a local number, I always pick up the phone.
Yeah. And, you need to be able to get on the phone. Yeah. Like, you cannot be doing something and pick up the phone. Like, I don't advise that, because you will be completely distracted and you will do something awful. Yeah. So tell me, one more thing. Okay. I'm like interviewing.
I want to talk about how you stay organized, because you are God. It is like a religion for you. So.
It is.
You ask your question first.
So when your last child came into your life, and you knew that it's your last baby, that you're not gonna
have anymore.
Did you adjust your schedule? How did you feel better about it, or you were like, this is my fourth, I don't care?
I absolutely adjusted my schedule. So most of the moms that I hang out with did not have 4 kids. They all had 3. So nobody could really give me any insight as to what the 4th one would bring. Mm-hmm. And anybody that did was like, oh my God, your world's going to get turned upside down. And it wasn't from close friends, so it was like, well, how much am I going to believe this,
Yeah.
But I did prepare for it, and I absolutely prepared for the summer. So I didn't take any new clients during the summertime, and I actually turned down work or told them they had to wait till August, because I wanted that time, because she was going to be my last. I extended my maternity leave. Aww. And because I wanted to soak up,
smell it in.
I know, just inhale and
enjoy
evaporate her little bittiness and her, because she was going to be the last.
Yeah.
And they're newborns for such a short period of time.
Yeah. It's like 2 weeks.
Right. I mean,
it's
and then
2 weeks
it's over. Yeah.
They're like, hi, how's it going?
I know. And my kids, oh my God, I don't know if this is like the norm, but they're so aware, my children at least. And so, like, right away they start getting it, and it's like, no, you're supposed to be like this needy, helpless little person, and you're already manipulating me,
dressing and making dinner.
I know. I mean, like,
looking for your credit cards.
they grow up way too fast, so I definitely wanted to extend that time. So I did stop and since have slowed my work since she has come. Mm-hmm. Work has not been my first priority. Mm-hmm. But now that she's getting older, she's almost a year, I'm starting to say, okay, it's time to pick it back up. But I literally did take off like a full year.
Do you adjust every 6 months, every year? How you adjust your schedule? Like
with her, it was at the 3-month mark. Okay. I decided at the 3-month mark, no, we're gonna wait a little bit longer. And I assessed, because it was like, okay, by her 3 months, she was October, November, it was like middle of the winter time. And so I was like, well, I can take a little bit more work, but summer's coming. it's going to be here in another 3-4 months because my kids get out in May.
Yeah.
So I actually called a few clients and told them, look, I'm going to be taking the summer off. And it was one particular client that you could see it coming. It was coming to an end. It was like I already knew my work was going to be ending with them. So I was like, well, let's just end it now. Get out with good graces and make sure you guys still like me.
Yeah.
And so we ended the relationship. And so I did that with a couple of clients where it was just like, okay, well, I'm starting to get ready to have a baby. I don't want too much on my plate when she comes. And so I did that on purpose. And then I just slowly eased into it and reevaluated every few months and said, am I ready to take in more clients?
How do you reevaluate? Like, do you look at your...
So it was when I would do my monthly taxes.
Okay.
See how much I'm making. See how happy my current clients are. Am I meeting? And so for me, it's almost like giving yourself a self-evaluation. So it was like, am I meeting my current goals, which was to keep my current clients satisfied and not feel overwhelmed in my personal life. And so I would look at that and I would call my clients and just ask them point blank, how are we doing? Are we good? Are you happy? Is there anything else you need? And then look at how my work was doing and then kind of evaluate my work and say, is this the best thing that I could be producing right now?
Yeah.
Yes or no? And so, and to try and be a little harsh with myself.
Yeah.
And so that's how I would evaluate myself every few months.
Okay.
And then decide, okay, well, maybe I need to back off or maybe I need to pick it up. And then when my kids started kindergarten and first grade, my life eased up a little bit and I thought, okay, we got to hit the ground running. So I wanted to plan for that in the month in advance.
Yeah.
Knew they were going to school in August. So it's like, okay, well, a month before that, in July, we're going to be really working towards gaining more clients and starting to ramp up the work again. That way in August, I'm not bored.
Yeah. How did you, was it on paper? Was it on your computer? How you stay organized, like when it comes to technical?
I have binders.
You have binders.
I have binders. So I
with
have
clients and schedules.
I have different clients for like a tab for each client.
Okay.
And then I usually have my brain dump on the top of it it's just like a little sheet that I can replace. And so that goes in there, and then the current projects we're working on go into their different folders.
Yeah.
I also have a separate binder for all my financial stuff, bank statements and all that stuff, to keep track of all of that. And then on my computer, I have a what I like to call it my floating task list. It's like the
drag and drop.
Right. Yeah. It's the things that I'm like, okay, well, I got to do this and I got to do this. But it's also there to put potential ideas.
Yeah.
So, you and I came up with something a couple of weeks ago, and so I put that in there.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, this is something I want to make happen.
Yeah.
But not right now. I mean, it's going to be... But it's got to go somewhere, so I put it in there.
Okay. So it's, guys, if you are moms or especially first baby coming in your life, I think you should take it easy, because they won't be that sweet and little.
They're not going to be that little for long.
The business is not that. Like, you are as talented as awesome your business is, your baby is more important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just take it easy. Don't really. I hate to see people just.
Well, and you can get overwhelmed fast. So just take it slow and give yourself time to adjust to both being a mother and being a businesswoman with a child. It brings a whole new dynamic. I mean, we talked about judgment in our last one. People are gonna look at you differently now that you're a mother. They're gonna, some people are gonna cut you some slack. Some people are gonna, tell you should get out of the game. So, give yourself some time to adjust to being a mother and a businesswoman, because it's very important.
Yeah.
And do what you do best in terms of your organization. If it's writing lists, like it is for me, lists help me a lot. It helps me get it out of my brain. It helps me you know,
Yeah, do not
be very
underestimate the power of the paper and pen.
organized. Right.
It's actually, your brain will go, I read somewhere or heard somewhere, I don't remember, like information overload. But I hear that when you put your hand on the pen to the paper, your brain just goes into different waves, and it's really zen you out. Like, it allows you to, it's such a simple task and such an instinctive task that it will really allow you to kind of like dump everything out and get kind of like a clean slate.
Right.
So
my brain dumps when I do them on my blackboard or on, because I have a notebook, which I recommend everybody has, but I definitely feel better versus typing it out on my computer.
Yeah. When you type it on a computer, it's so up in the air.
It is, and I will say my creative juices don't start flowing as quickly as they do when I am handwriting it. So there's something to be said about handwriting it.
Yeah, there's some little bit of magic.
Yes. So let's talk about your organization. How you stay organized.
Well, I think I'm a little bit OCD with it. I don't think so. I was never like diagnosed with OCD, but I am very religious about calendars and notes and.
But everything's on your calendar, right? From walking the dog to business.
I put everything on my calendar because I want to. It started after I went into business full time. Because when you're part time, you got kind of like, oh, it's okay. You really don't feel the impact of the business on your life. When you would put more than 30 hours, this is when it's really start impacting your life. So I want to kind of keep a track of what's happening with my time.
Yeah.
If I'm really full time, or I'm like, if it's a joke.
It's a joke.
So for a while, before I went into like religious schedule, I tracked my activities, like what I was doing with my time. And it turned out that I had a lot of Facebook time. Very, you go from post to post, from like article to article.
Oh, it can consume you.
And it felt like work because I do a lot of marketing on Facebook.
Yeah, we all do.
And then, I am a huge Netflix fan, and time like get away with some seasons of some of the shows.
Gosh, that has been my guilty pleasure lately.
You're by yourself at home. There's no one to tell you anything.
Right.
So you just like, it slips away. And then I would look at my calendar and see hours at the time, empty time, which was not really productive. I'm like, okay, this is not
okay.
So when you going through any kind of transition and you're trying to see kind of like narrow yourself down, to getting yourself reevaluated, I think tracking things is really important. To kind of, you don't have to do it like to the minute, but kind of see, okay, like I spent probably a couple hours on Facebook, so let's put it on.
And how much time do you allocate to putting like you have a very, very detailed calendar, so how much time do you put into your calendar?
None, because I schedule them. You can schedule, like on a Gmail calendar, you can schedule event to be repetitive.
Oh, so like every morning's.
Yeah, if something changes, I delete that event, so I can kind of still again look through the week and see how my week went. So with the the Gmail account, I love Google. It's a free platform. Great email, Google Voice number. You can have your YouTube channel. Subscribe there, please.
Yeah. Where's that?
Yeah. And you can have multiple calendars.
Right. I have a ton.
Amazing tool for a business owner who spends their time with a phone in their pocket.
Yes.
But I got to, right now, after I moved to a new area, I settled in, I opened my studio, I got quite a few clients, and I was still in that transition, getting things in a full swing. So I didn't track things. I thought I'm tracking things, but I didn't.
You're not tracking them.
I forgot the client.
Oh no, we've all done it though.
It was a consultation, and I got a call. She's like, I'm here, and I'm at home 15 minutes away. I went pale. I'm in my sweatpants, no face, hair mess, just feeding my dog.
Eating your potato chips on your couch.
Yes, like doing something completely...
everybody thinks you do.
And it's the worst thing that morning I look at my calendar, I'm like, I have that appointment. I had it in my mind, but it's... As an artist, my brain gets really, really scattered. That's why I'm so religious about my calendar, because it's just, it feels like there is a flood of things washing over me constantly, 24/7.
Oh, okay.
So it's sometimes it's overwhelming.
They call those waves, just waves coming over your desk.
It's constantly. It's very hard for me to, like, even when I edit, I take breaks. Because if I sit there for a couple hours, I'm like, okay, I can't. This is too much, and I will do something else, and I will walk away. This is how I am. This is my
and
persona.
it's very good to do that. I mean, I think you do better work when you give yourself a chance to just take a break, take it easy. You know, because I think when you stare at something for too long, it turns into this fuzz. Yeah, you know.
So I'm like, I'm on my way. I will get to you. You know, I got dressed, put makeup on in like splits of seconds. I didn't know that I can do it that fast, but I did. But that was a wake-up call for me that my calendar on the phone is not enough.
It's not enough.
So for a while, I was like, okay, what I can do, how I can do it. So I actually... I have again on my calendar on a Gmail, you can have a drive, and you can have like online documents. I have my workflow, and in the workflow I keep track which client is on which stage. Yeah, like what's happening with the clients.
So that's smart.
Because again, like if you starting having more clients, you will get to the point like I don't know who the person is, like who I don't know what were we doing.
What were we doing and how were we?
Yeah, and with the photo shoot designs, there's a lot of piece of the puzzle will have to come in. So I'm like, okay, I have that, so maybe I can create actual paper files for clients, so we can, when I meet them, I can take the paper file with me. Right. So I did that. The other day my husband came in and he's like, oh, did you hear about the bullet journal? And a bullet journal is basically a journal in a notebook. It's paper to pen. So I started it recently and I love it because it's a place where I can do brain dumps, I can make notes, and I keep track of everything. And
You're gonna have to show me this.
Yes, I have it with me, and I'll show you later because I don't think so. You know, you guys can go on YouTube and go see bullet journaling. There's the sea of the Pinterest of like printouts and making it pretty and all that stuff. Yeah. You can kind of get two best of the worlds. Like, I have my calendar on my phone, but I also can actually write. Right. So I think this is best fit for me. Unfortunately, I cannot just do it from the phone. I'm not that.
And for me, you know, just because with my kids, it's hard to keep. It's hard to keep your schedule religious, and so I have reminders and alarms for everything. So I mean, like, I have 2 alarms that go off that wake me up in the morning. I have, you know, one that reminds me right before lunch to pick up the kids or feed my son. Yeah. You know, I have one that goes off at 11:15. And now he's old enough, my 3-year-old, that he's like, "Hey woman, can you feed me now?" Oh. So, you know, because I'll get so consumed into what I'm doing, I'll lose track of time and not realize that I've been sitting there working for 3 hours, and then my husband comes home and he's like, "What did you do all day?" And I'm like, "Well, I worked, but you know, there's no proof to him because the house is a mess, and you know, the kids are, you know, running around and he's like, in underwear. Did you do anything today?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I mean, like, I made money with my business, but you know, I didn't do anything at the house." Yeah. So I have alarms for everything that go off. And so the minute the alarm goes off, and it's usually like a soft alarm, so it's like a warning for me to finish up whatever I'm doing because I need to move on to the next thing. And so I give myself those, and usually if it's a new project or something I'm starting, I'll just I have an Apple, I have an iPhone. I'll be like, Siri, set the timer for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And so she's like, okay, and there
Your
we
secretary.
go. Yeah.
Your
There we
secretary.
go. So that, I know in 45 minutes when it goes off, I got to wrap it up.
Okay.
So that helps me.
So yeah, it's on the beginning you'll be kind of scattered, and it's okay. Organizing.
You got to find what works for you.
Yeah, organizing. It really needs to be part of your personality. If you go against the grain, it won't work. So don't even, if you are not paper person, don't even try to make notes.
No.
Do it with your phone.
Digital.
If you are not a digital person, just get a paper calendar and just go with that. Or like me, get
both.
Both, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's, I have right now, so I have 2 calendars, and my main calendar is on my phone. But in my notebook, I can kind of like write out the
things you want to do in between.
Yeah, well, the most important events. If like we're going on vacation, a long weekend, I can write it down. So yeah, I'm like, this is not the time to work around. Yeah. So there is no like golden recipe for that.
No. I think the other good thing, or the other important thing to know about staying organized is specific, in terms of being very specific, is carving out like time once a week to allocate to your business, but specific. So saying, okay, I'm gonna carve out 1 hour or 2 hours to billing, and knowing that Thursday afternoon from 3 to 5 or whatever, you're gonna do billing.
Yeah.
And then on Friday morning from like 9 to 11, you're gonna do marketing. Because if you don't dedicate and carve out those times and write it out like it would be a client meeting or it was anything else, you're not going to do it. And so I hear so many people, and I'm guilty of this myself. I don't do any marketing for my business.
Yeah.
And it's because it's like, well, that can wait.
Yeah.
But honestly, it can't.
Yeah,
It really can't.
You cannot really afford it. I have, because the Gmail calendar has a drag and drop, I keep rescheduling my books, like doing my books. I hate my books. I don't hate my books. I hate doing books. I hate inputting the numbers. I'm not interested in it. I'm not motivated in it. So
I think that's the creative mind, because I hate it too.
It's just I will clean my closet, vacuum, like do everything it's possible to not to do it.
Yeah.
So I had it once a week. I'm like, okay, I have to do it once a week. I had it actually twice a week, and it never happened. So now I rolled it into once a month.
I do mine once a month.
And what I will do, I save myself a good show on the Amazon Prime, because I have dual screen. If you don't have a dual screen, do it on your phone and you can work on your laptop.
There you go.
And I will have a good coffee. I will watch good show and do my books and get it done.
And so for me, I physically have to remove myself from the house. I will not do my books if I am in my house. I can't. There's laundry, there's kids, there's a husband, there's Netflix. Like everything to distract me. So I physically remove myself, go to my office, and turn on Pandora, and totally am honed in and focused. And even then my computer's in front of me, and Facebook.
So, get yourself organized as much as possible. I think a lot of on social media, and you see a lot of businesses who are producing that content where they show, it takes only like a week to make $10,000, or only couple hours a week and you can make this much money. And you see beautiful content on Instagram with all those white backgrounds and pink flowers and everything is perfect. It's not.
It takes a lot of planning.
Yeah, running a business is messy and things don't turn out perfect. And when you're organizing yourself, you have to, again, your client is another human being, and just say, hey, this didn't work out because I messed up and I'm very, very sorry. What can I do to fix it? Right. And most of the time people will be like, don't worry, I did it. I did this and this.
Right. And so
it's very interesting to, the balance between, you know, when I moved here from a community of almost 90,000 people. It was still a small town. I was still in a small town.
You still felt like a small town.
It was a small town, you know, because
90,000.
It felt small, comparing to like I moved from Warsaw, which is, you know, hundreds of thousands of people. Anyway, you have to remember that your family and friends will always like cheer you up, and they will be very forgiving. Clients who do not know you won't be as forgiving. So being organized it's very, very important. Being honest, keeping things track of things, and you know, like payments and all. Well,
and it keeps it being organized helps you keep you covered, because you know we've all been in those situations in business where somebody comes in and tells you, I said I wanted this, but you provided this and this, and you're like, no, I have record of what you asked for. You know, I was in a situation recently with a family, mind you, that was like, well, I asked for all of this stuff and she didn't give it to me. And it was a friend of mine who provided the work for me. And so I was in the uncomfortable position of telling my friend, the business owner,